For those of you who don't know, the latest snapshot for Minecraft 1.14 has just released. This is the first snapshot for that update, and it brings with it a bunch of really interesting new features and some massive changes to the game. Big technical changes to things like the game engine and lighting engine, and there's also some new things introduced. For example, the beasts, which I haven't seen these yet. These things are so cool. Oh, these things are awesome. I can't wait to see these things roaming around. Then, of course, we've got the pillagers as well with their crossbows. This is something that I'm very excited about, but I'm not going to go into too much detail with all of the new features because you can read the changelogs or see all of the videos talking about them. Instead, what I'm interested in is the redstone aspect, because there's been some pretty big changes to the game and there's been some new features introduced that I think lend themselves to some pretty interesting farms. So, the first thing that I've absolutely got to try is, yes, shears can now be activated by dispensers, and they will shear sheep. Now, I gotta say, that's pretty interesting, because of course this sheep is eventually going to eat that grass, and he's going to grow back his wool, and then we can automate the whole process using the dispenser. I mean, I think this could be a potentially cool farm, so I'm going to try and hook up some redstone here. So this is the little design that I've come up with. We've got one sheep in a pen, we've got a grass block in the center, we then have an observer which detects when that grass block changes from being a grass block into a dirt block, because of course the sheep has eaten the grass. It then fires the dispenser, shearing our sheep, and then this hopper minecart underneath picks up those wool blocks and chucks them down into the chest. And it works nicely. If you want a really simple design that you can just put into your base, leave alone, you don't use too much wool, so you just need something tiny, then this is going to be perfect. But I think we can probably go bigger than this. I mean, you know, we can definitely go bigger than this. I just want to double check. Yeah, the observer pulses too fast for our redstone torch, otherwise that would have been a really neat option. So instead of that, unfortunately we've had to use 2 observers, but then the redstone just connects into all of our dispensers here. And if we start throwing some sheep into the mix, so if we just get a bunch of sheep in here, it shouldn't be long. Wow, I need to actually get my minecart in. So I guess this is all working quite fast. Now I wonder what that's going to do to the durability. Ah, and we also need a hopper minecart underneath here. Okay, so we need 2 rows of hopper minecarts. But then I'm guessing like one of these guys is going to eat something. Yeah, there we go. So it does work. It does function. So he got his wool back, and then it gets sheared. Now, is that going to affect the durability of every single one of those dispensers? I don't know. I can't even reach in here. There's so many. Alright, so this actually also works. It's working quite nicely. You can see that these guys are eating away, and we have got quite a few items flowing in. But I've actually just come up with a new concept for the system that is based off of a design by Exumavoid that he built in Hermitcraft, I think Season 3 and Season 4 as well. And it was a really efficient design that relied on the sheep to push themselves around. And I think we can modify this to involve a little bit of redstone to fully automate it, which could be quite cool. Alright, this isn't such a great start to the design. I forgot how tall sheep were. I, for some reason, thought they were only 1 block tall. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board on this one. So, out of interest, by the look of things, the shears don't lose durability when there's not a sheep in front of them. So we can have a setup like this with just a redstone clock running into this dispenser right here, and those shears aren't going to run out of durability. They're not going to get wasted if they're not shearing anything. The only time that we're going to lose durability in the shears is when they're actually used on a sheep. So I guess we can now start populating this thing with sheep and see if it works. I mean, I have no clue. Ah, yeah, I probably should have tested that the sheep could actually get up my sheep elevator before I filled this entire thing with sheep. Okay, yeah, I have no clue what to do here. Well, the answer was fairly obvious. Use a soul sand water stream. The only issue is that now all of the sheep are kind of getting stuck. I think maybe because just there's way too many on this bottom layer, and they've all kind of got into a big traffic jam, and everyone's trying to push to the front. So hopefully once I clear a few out, it should start working as expected. New problem, once again, is that all of the sheep are getting stuck here now. don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I think it might finally be working. So these guys are just making their way through the system, and they are being sheared automatically, and they're being pushed along by their own momentum. So they're kind of pushing themselves along through this thing. And as I say, this is an original concept by Exumavoid that he actually did on the Hermitcraft server. And then gradually, as they're making their way through, they're eating up the grass, which is having a chance to regrow, but obviously they're passing a lot of grass in the process. So there's plenty of fresh grass around here. And that means that a lot of them are getting their coats back by the time they make their way over to the shearer, and that shearer is just automatically shearing them based off a redstone clock. The items are ending up in those hoppers down at the bottom there. There are no items being lost, and it's all making its way in, and it is all working. It's all working pretty well. I mean, look, you can see, not all of them are getting their coats back, but they're getting their coats back relatively quickly. That being said, though, there is a lot of sheep in here. Like, this would be a bit of a server killer, but if you had this running all the time, I mean, you'd have wool forever. You'd be fully set with wool. Now, there is one other concept that I really want to mess around with, which is going to be a lot more redstone intensive, but it's just going to be interesting to see how well it functions. And this is actually based off of something that I built on the Hermitcraft back in Hermitcraft Season 4? Yeah, Hermitcraft Season 4, I constructed this thing right at the end of the season, and I'm sure there's going to be some of you that are familiar with it. Now, I would say if I place, what do you reckon, 2 sheep in there? I would say 2 sheep will be more than enough to get this ball rolling, and then of course we're going to need a hopper minecart underneath, which is going to be picking up all of our items. Now, the idea is that eventually one of these sheep is going to eat that grass, and then that dispenser will fire, and that will cycle the grass around. So the grass will be a dirt block, but then that dirt block will be moved out of the way, and a fresh piece of grass will be brought in. Okay, these guys are taking ages, so maybe 3 sheep might be the move. Come on, at least one of you has to want to eat some grass right now. You are sheep. That is literally all you do. And of course, when it happens, I miss it. So this guy decided to eat some grass. It then got turned into dirt. The system detected that. It dispensed the shears, which sheared the sheep, which put the wool down into the chest. And then the dirt has been moved out of the way, and we have a fresh block of grass underneath these, which in theory keeps things relatively efficient. So we've got a handful of different farms going on here. We've got a volume farm where we're just relying on having large numbers of sheep to produce lots of wool. We have a decently big farm. We've got a very small farm that's just super resource efficient, and then we have this design right here, which is efficient in terms of getting grass under the sheep, but it has a lot less sheep inside it. So you've got a bunch of options to choose from here. Anyway, I think we're done with sheep farming for now. I think I'm going to move on from this one and take a look at bamboo, because bamboo is the new item which has just been introduced into Minecraft 1.14. And of course, when a new farmable item gets introduced into the game, I have to create a farm for it. Now I'm interested. Does a piston push this off? It does. Okay, so I would have thought this is just going to be like a regular... I guess it's just going to work exactly like a sugarcane farm would. Except the cool thing about bamboo is that it doesn't need to be placed next to any water for it to grow, so we can build up a system that looks a little bit like this, which hopefully it will actually function. So that's 4 ticks there, and then some redstone. And that is now functioning. So that is going to be taking out any bamboo that grows down at the bottom here. Sweet. And just as a heads up, bamboo grows ridiculously fast. As you can probably tell from all of the bamboo lying around, it's been growing quite a bit. Now that's very typical. As soon as I start recording, it stops growing entirely. This is... Oh, there we go. Okay. I was going to say, this is literally the worst demonstration for bamboo growing quickly. But yeah, it grows fast. Really, really fast. Yeah, this thing has only been running for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. And we've got all of the hopper minecarts in that are picking up all the items. And just look how much is coming in. Like, it's crazy how quick this thing is. For such a tiny little farm... It's doing incredibly well. We are getting tons upon tons of bamboo. To be honest, I don't know if you'd need anything much bigger than this. I mean, look at that. Look how much bamboo is growing. It is so stupid. It's so stupid how fast this stuff grows. It's great. It's amazing. I absolutely love it because here's the thing. Bamboo can be used to power furnaces. So just like kelp, you can use it to power a furnace. But the thing is with bamboo is that you don't need to do anything to the bamboo. You can just run this straight into a furnace system and then it's good to go. It's good to use. So there's no crafting involved. This might be better than kelp, I'll be honest, because look, tiny farm and already it's killing it. I am actually really interested to see how well the other farms have been performing. There it is. Yes, we finally got some footage of this farm actually functioning, and you can see that the dirt is gradually making its way around, so it is working. This one, that's doing pretty well. So we've got ourselves almost a stack of wool within probably about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. If you leave that running in a while, go AFK for a little while, you're going to be sorted for wool for a decent length of time. This one actually, considering, okay, so a little bit of a disclaimer. A, you can see that my hopper minecart setup isn't perfect, but B, I didn't actually have a hopper minecart until I'd finished building this thing. So 14, I mean, it's not the best performance, but it's not too bad. This one, that's okay, but not spectacular, actually. I'm interested in this one. That is huge. That is a big improvement. That's much more than it was just about half an hour ago. So there we go. I think that's the answer. I mean, this is the design to use, and you can see that it is working really well. Like, these guys are eating that grass. They're replenishing their coats. And let's see, our shears, I mean, they are losing durability. You're going to use up a lot of shears with this thing, but that's because you're getting lots of wool. I mean, you are going to use up shears when you're getting this much wool. And then, of course, a little bamboo farm. I mean, let's just take a look. We're almost at 3 stacks. I literally just recorded the clip before, and we've gained, well, 1.5 stacks since we started recording the previous clip, which was about 2 minutes ago. Yeah. This is cool. This is cool. I'm excited to see what we can do with these bamboo farms, because obviously this is a tiny farm. It took me literally about 5 minutes to build, maybe 10 minutes to build. If you were to build some monstrous farms, like a big bamboo farm, you would have thousands upon thousands of stacks of bamboo within like one night. It would be spectacular. I mean, even if you were to just to level this up, make it taller, it'd be crazy. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun experimenting with farms in Minecraft 1.14. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, I'm filming channel stuff. You know what to do. Link will be on the end screen.